Live in studio, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes.
And yes, here we are again another day committed to being your consumer advocate, helping you understand your buying decisions, making you more street smart here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. We like to help you win in any marketplace, as we say. We'd love for you to save our hotline number in your phone. That way you can reach out any questions, comments, or any kind of insights that you want to relay to us. We'd love to talk to you about them. 813-750-0550. You can call or text the hotline 813-750-0550. Also, consumerqb.com is the website. You can see links there to all of our expert contributors, their contact information, as well as previous show videos as well. And we'd love for you to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Over 1,200 videos now on our YouTube channel, almost 8 years on air. And it's all about being a consumer advocate, helping you understand your buying decisions and kind of make sense of different markets here. So we've got a great lineup for you today on the show. Before we jump into this great content, I will let you know about a couple of hot listings that we've got here in Tampa Bay. We got a new listing here out in Dover. This is 3506 Caleb's Forest Trail in Dover. $799,000 property, East Hillsborough County, 3 bedrooms, 3 and 1/2 bath, pool home with the outdoor kitchen as well. Beautiful property, and it's minutes to downtown Bradenton. You got Tampa, New Tampa as well. Just a great opportunity right here in Tampa Bay to buy real estate, over an acre of land as well, right here in Tampa Bay. Also, got the penthouse for sale at the Meridian, 1200 Gulf Boulevard. This is a $2.67 million listing. 1805 is the unit number. Gorgeous views, the intercoastal waterways as well as the Gulf of Mexico. 1200 Gulf Boulevard, number 1805. Almost 4,000 square feet of a living area. 3-bedroom suites, office and a den, Gulf side balconies, 1,100 plus square footage on the terrace with a gazebo. Great opportunity with resort-style amenities. You walk out, you're on the sugar sand beaches and dolphin-filled waters of Clearwater Beach, #1 beach destination on the planet. And visit platinummvpteam.kw.com.
This is God's country.
All right, we got a great lineup for you as well. In studio, let's go ahead and introduce Owen LaFave as well. He is in the seat here from Bank of Tampa. Welcome in, my friend.
Thank you, Brandon. Pleasure to be here.
Thanks for coming in. You are the Pinellas County Market President.
I oversee, for the Bank of Tampa, Pinellas County Market President, so I oversee all of our operations in Pinellas, and I also oversee commercial real estate for the bank.
Awesome, man. Commercial, I want to dive deep into commercial because a lot of people are wondering, where is that going to go? So hopefully you bring your crystal ball with you?
Always.
Okay, good. We could jump in and all that.
I got tarot cards, too.
There we go. Awesome. All right, we got Shane SoCash as well on the line. Hey, Shane.
Hey there, how's it going?
Hey, I'm doing well, my friend. Owner of David Reynolds Jewelry and Coin, and we talk a lot about jewelry and gold, precious metals, investments opportunities, and also just beautiful gift ideas as well on the program.
Yeah, we got them.
You got them. Awesome. That sounds good, my friend. Shane SoCash, more from Shane coming up here as well. And we also are going to go with Larry Harbolt here, teacher, author, real estate coach, and mentor. Welcome in.
Hey, thank you for having me on.
Hey, my pleasure, buddy. So the real estate market is hot. You know, we talk about real estate investments. I love how you teach, and some of the strategies that you talk about is, off-market type investments, doing in real estate investing a different way, kind of figuring out, hey, what are the terms that the seller might want to sell at. What are you seeing in this market right now, Larry?
Well, I'm seeing that the money is prevalent right now. People have money, and properties are selling quickly. That's why I do things that are off market. When you're looking at everything that everyone else is looking at, the prices go up.
Right.
They sell quickly. I mean, I'm hearing that properties are selling in 1 to 4 days the minute they hit the market. I'm looking for things that are not listed. I look for things that are unloved, that I can build value by fixing up and build my equity into that. But I buy investment properties. I buy rental properties because I love the thought that someone else gets up every day, goes to work to earn money, to give to me in the form of rent to pay for my assets. So, in essence, over time, someone else pays for my wealth and my retirement program.
That's right.
So that's what I look for. There's plenty of properties out there that people don't even know they want to sell. If we do marketing programs where people contact us that want to sell, and then we try to put together a deal where we can pay the seller instead of getting bank financing. Not everybody wants cash all at once. Many people are really looking for a retirement plan where we can pay them every month over time. To me, that is the best way to buy, because I don't have to deal with banks and the criteria of the banks and bank requirements. It's what the seller and I can agree on is what we can pay for the property, and the payment, the amount, everything included.
Let's talk about that, Larry. I love the idea of being able to buy a property, talking to the seller, addressing the needs, and not necessarily thinking the conventional way of, I'm going to get a conventional loan, a FHA loan, a VA loan. No, we're looking at different types of deals. Can you give us maybe a recent success story or an example of how you've been able to meet a seller's need, but also buy the property with favorable terms?
Yeah. See, when I buy an income property, I don't necessarily worry about the price as much as what that property, once I fix it up, will rent for.
Right.
Because I've got to deduct my costs, a 12th of the taxes, a 12th of the insurance cost, a maintenance factor. I figure in a vacancy factor. If I hire management, I got to take that out. And I deduct that from what it will rent for each month. And then I try to figure in what I'd be happy with as, money to put in my pocket, a cash flow. What is left is all I've got to make a payment with. Mm-hmm. So I can convince a seller, I can give you what you're asking for a property, if it's reasonable, if you will accept what I've got to make a payment with. And I show them exactly what I've got to make a payment with. So if we can negotiate that, that's fine. These are not nothing down deals. Sometimes you have to put money down. But I have done on houses that have needed work, I have, instead of putting a down payment plus having to fix the property, I've said I will fix the property on my nickel like I would have to anyway. But if I don't pay you as agreed, you'll get the property back in better condition. You can sell it for more money. That way I only have to come up with the money to fix it. I don't have to come up with down payment money with it. Some sellers will do that, some won't. But once you can convince them that this is all you've got to make a payment with. And the other thing, I only look for properties that are free and clear they don't live in, simply because if they get all cash, which is what everybody wants today, they're going to get really tore up with capital gains taxes and recapture of depreciation.
Right.
If they will take payments from me, they only pay the capital gains and depreciation on the 12 payments I send them every year, where if they get all cash, they have to pay all of those taxes for both in the year of the sale. So, we can spread it out over time. If they live in the house, they don't have a taxing consequence in most cases, most houses, simply because there's an IRS section 121 that says if you live in a property any two of the last 5 years, any two of the last 5, a single person can take up to $250,000 of their profit tax-free. Mm-hmm. A couple can take up to $500,000 of their profit tax-free. So I want properties they don't live in, simply because that is a great negotiating tool for me.
Right.
Telling them, you don't live in it, you're going to get killed with taxes. I can make that a little bit softer for you if you can accept this as a monthly payment.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. If you just joined us, we're talking with Larry Harbolt. He's a teacher and author, also a podcaster as well. Real Deal Podcast, Larry Harbolt's Real Deal Podcast. Larry, I love that scenario because you're making a win-win situation there. You're creating an opportunity where you win, the seller wins, the different stakeholders in the deal are going to win. So does that work also with for example, commercial apartment buildings, other asset types? Or are we talking mainly, 1 to 4 units here?
No, it works on everything. Our past president bought the Empire State Building with the same type of terms. So it works on everything. It works on everything.
Yeah.
And you got to remember, when people say, they can't find anyone that will take seller financing terms, many of those people have bank accounts that's paying 0.25% interest.
Right.
And they're willing to accept that. Why wouldn't they take an asset like the house they've got and be willing to make $500 a month on it?
Right. Yep.
See, if it's paid for, they don't have an underlying payment that they've got to pay out.
Right.
If it's free and clear, whatever we can agree to, it's money in their pocket.
Right. I like that. Yeah, and people can and there's different ways to find those deals. We don't want you to give away your secrets, but a lot of people are doing postcard mailers. There's some strategies online that you can do. There's different ways people can find those deals. So we're talking the real estate investment style offering. This is not retail. This is not going through a Keller Williams for example, a Keller Williams team or anything like that. These are deals that you're trying to find on your own. You're able to contact the seller. A lot of times it's out of state, death, divorce, bankruptcy situations, probate situations. These are the types of deals that you're sourcing.
Correct.
Yeah.
And they're out there. They're everywhere. People just don't believe they're out there because, the market is hot and they listen to, there's a shortage of housing for sale and the prices are so high. And I also have to say this exploding market is not going to last forever.
Right.
And someday it's going to level off.
Right.
We saw that in 2009 and 10. But you've got to realize that there are opportunities everywhere if you can find them.
Yep.
They're there.
Work your sphere. There's a lot of ways to find them. So you mentioned 2008 and 09, that type of a situation. So the market fundamentals were so much different back then. You had these crazy pick a payment loans, these negative amortization mortgages, people qualifying that shouldn't qualify. Today it seems a lot different to me. It seems the market fundamentals are still at least stronger, minus the currency situation, because I think our politicians in D.C. have failed the American people. They're pumping out way too much money. The $1 trillion word is being thrown around too much. And I just hope they don't figure out what comes after $1 trillion, with the next bailout package, right? So when you think about where that's going, what do you see happening here? Because again, and then on the other side of that, the flip side is there's unprecedented migration patterns to Florida. A lot of blue states to red states, blue cities to the rural area. What do you see happening specifically in the residential real estate space, Larry?
Well, we're getting an influx of California, New York, New Jersey into Florida.
Yeah.
They're fleeing in droves. But, one of the things that I want to talk about, and I think most people don't realize, you've got to understand time value of money.
Right.
$1 today is worth more than $1 30 years from now.
Yeah.
And here's why I say that. Because the dollar keeps decreasing in value over time.
Yeah.
If I buy a property and I pay cash today, the perception is, to most people, $1 today is going to be worth $1 in 30 years, but it's not.
Right.
So if I buy today and pay cash, my dollar was more expensive. But if I can get time payments over 20 or 30 years, I'm buying with cheaper dollars.
Right.
As time goes on, they still perceive it to be $1, but it has less value. So that is in my favor.
Right.
Because I'm buying on cheaper dollars over time rather than paying all of it up front today. And that is something people need to understand, time value of money.
I like it. All right, Larry. Hey, thanks so much, man. Give us a final thought or plug your podcast, my friend.
Well, I think that if people that want to buy investment properties, especially income properties, they need to look for properties that need love, that need work, where they can fix the property up, where they can build a cash flow and let someone else pay for them,
right,
the renter, to build their wealth and pay less taxes, because rental income is the least taxed income that we have in this country. So I think, if you don't want to be a landlord, hire management. But plant seeds. Like a garden, you plant a seed before you ever eat a near a sweet corn. If you don't plant a seed and buy a property, you're never going to see it paid off, and you have created wealth that somebody else paid for.
That's right.
So I think that's good. And for anybody interested, you can go to my website, larryharbolt.com, to learn about my trainings. And I do the Real Deal podcast. That's on my website. I've got 225 educational podcasts that you can listen to if you want to learn more about investing. So that's what I've got, and I thank you so much for having me on.
Hey, good stuff, my friend. Thanks so much, Larry. Appreciate you hanging out with us here today. LarryHarbolt.com. Check him out online. And I've known Larry for a long time. He's the real deal. His Real Deal podcast. So coming up, Shane Socash on the show. David Reynolds, Jewelry and Coin. We're going to get his perspective on things happening in his markets, as well as precious metals, jewelry, diamonds, engagement rings, all kinds of good stuff. Alternative investment opportunities as well from Shane Socash. Later in the show as well, Owen LaFave. He's the Pinellas County Market President, Bank of Tampa. Stay with us right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
Hey, I'm Ken Shamrock, and you're here with Consumer Quarterback Show. And I say, Brandon Rhymes, knock out your competition.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com.
My friends, when choosing a listing agent to sell your home, their track record is critically important. Dennis Prager here for Brandon and Lindsay Rhymes, owners of Platinum MVP Team at Keller Williams Real Estate. They're consistently rated by the MLS in the top 1% of all Tampa Bay realtors, and that's a big deal. Brandon and Lindsay are always among the top realtors in the state. Call them today at 813-750-0550.
Find them at platinummvpteam.kw.com.
Selling commercial or residential property? Don't leave money on the table. List with the Platinum MVP Team at Keller Williams Realty. I'm Brandon Rhymes. Reach me at 813-670-7372 or platinummvpteam.com.
My name is James DeJerome, and I produce the Consumer Quarterback Show for Brandon Rhymes. The Consumer Quarterback Show is a team, a group of like-minded professionals who partner together to provide our audience sound advice, knowledge, and information to make them wiser consumers. We work with all types of business owners and aggressively promote our local economy. We're currently conducting interviews for our expert contributors. If you own a business or know someone who would benefit from the exposure our show provides, please contact us at 813-750-0550 or online at consumerqb.com.
You're listening to the Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. Brandon Rhymes here, Consumer Quarterback Show, Platinum MVP Team, Keller Williams Realty. And want to let you know about one of our partners here, Replenish IV Solutions, the science of nutritional balance. You know, we all want to feel energized, hydrated, and replenished. And this is a safe and effective way to restore your body's systems with crucial vitamins and nutrients by enabling them to perform at optimal conditions. Steve and Lisa Gunnan, Replenish IV Solutions. I go over there at least once a month and I get a vitamin infusion drip into my bloodstream, certified nurses on hand. Plus, they can also come to your office or business. Replenish IV Solutions. Make sure you let them know the Real Estate Quarterback sent you. All right, a couple of quick properties here, compliments of the Platinum MVP Team. 5402 US Highway 92. I got a bar for sale out in Plant City. This is a great investment opportunity for the investor. 5402 US Highway 92, corner lot, large parking lot. Cash flow is $12,000 to $14,000 a week, and income coming in. Great opportunity here for a investment opportunity. If you've wanted to own your own bar out in Plant City, this is a great opportunity. For COP beverage license as well. 5402 US 92, Plant City. And 1602 East MLK, right here in Tampa Bay, Gill's Body Shop, 45 years in business, lots of walk-in traffic, cash flow business as well. Body shop available in Tampa, easy access to I-275 and I-4. Great location, 1602 East MLK Junior Boulevard. And you can see all of our listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com. All right, Shane Socash, David Reynolds Jewelry and Coin. Welcome to the show, my friend.
Nice to be back.
Yes, sir. Good to hear from you. So when you think about these investment opportunities, or even just to find a nice gift for your loved ones, we want them thinking about David Reynolds Jewelry and Coin right here in Tampa Bay. But precious metals seem to be at an all-time high. Is that right?
Yeah, so it's been probably about a year ago they peaked, and it's been they had been receding a little bit over the last few months, and then the last month or two the patterns changed, and again it's 3 steps up, 2 steps back, 3 steps up, 2 steps back, and it's kind of creeping up again. I think people are starting to realize again that they're headed up again.
What do you think the fundamentals are behind that, or what's causing that change?
I really do believe that people are concerned about the watering down of the U.S. dollar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the U.S. dollar, and then also there's such a demand also for the computer chips, the cell phone, the chips that are in all these different devices, the electronic devices.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, that seems to be a big part of it as well. Now, when people come in to the store, to your storefront there, David Reynolds Jewelry and Coin, they're going to be able to design their rings, their jewelry the way that they want, and you've got gemologists on site.
Yeah, we have gemologists, master jewelers, master valuers, and numismatists, coin people. We can, if someone comes in with ideas, or even if they don't have ideas, we can provide ideas to make the pieces of jewelry that they may want.
Yeah, that's great. I think more and more people love that, because you can buy a certain Rolex, or you can buy a certain type of a watch or piece, but I think it means more when you take the time to design something maybe that your wife or your fiance would love. Something different, something unique.
Yeah, it's always been like a little niche of ours, and it seems to drive people in. You can go and buy a piece of jewelry anywhere, but to have a hand in actually creating it is something that not everyone can do.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. So it's a unique opportunity. Now you're also buying. Are you finding people selling? They're coming in and selling different things to you, trying to get some cash for different reasons, but people can come in and sell as well. Or you buy, they can sell.
Yeah, absolutely. There will always be, a market with estate attorneys in estates as people pass away and they have valuables that need to be disposed of. We've always dealt with many local attorneys on that type of thing. And to be honest with you, people are having to make hard decisions. They're a big cross section of our economy is hurting, and people are kind of digging down deep, deciding how to make ends meet. It's unfortunate, but we do buy jewelry, and that is, I believe, helpful.
Yeah, I think so. I think a lot of people are looking for that. The we buy gold type of thing. It's out there. We got to take a quick break here. When we come back, more with Shane Socash here, David Reynolds Jewelry and Coin on the Consumer Quarterback Show, as well as Owen LaFave coming up as well. Pinellas County Market President for the Bank of Tampa, right here in Tampa Bay. And we'll be right back after a short break. Follow us online. We would love to connect with you at Brandon Rhymes1 on Instagram and Twitter, the Consumer Quarterback Show page on Facebook, as well as the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams page on Facebook. We'd love to connect with you online. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Over 1,200 videos available on the YouTube channel as well. And we'll be right back after this short break. Don't go anywhere.
This is Chris Voss, former FBI lead hostage negotiator and owner of the Black Swan Group, and you're listening to Consumer Quarterback Show hosted by my friend Brandon Rhymes.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com.
All right, Johnny, let me know when you want to proceed. We can go? All righty, everyone, please stand by.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You're listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-670-7372.
And we're back. Brandon Rhymes here, Consumer Quarterback Show, powered by the Platinum MVP team. Keller Williams Realty, we want to help you win. If you're buying, selling, or investing, top 1% ranked real estate team here in Tampa Bay, and we would love to help you. Certified negotiation experts as well, and actually teaching negotiation and branding to other real estate agents and companies. We'd love to talk to you about buying, selling, or investing real estate right here in Tampa Bay. So I've got some listings here available in South Tampa. This is 801 East Palm, also 803 East Palm. This is right here in Tampa. It's close to Ybor City, close to downtown. Great opportunity, $750,000 each. These are multi-families that are currently operating as a hostel. So they're being sold together, those two. And then we also have 1905 North Taliaferro, another great opportunity here in Tampa Bay for a investment opportunity. Minutes to downtown, zoned urban mixed use. And this is also an opportunity zone in Tampa Bay. So you've got income built into these properties. And you can see all of our listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com. And we're giving a shout out to the Bill Maher Beach Resort, the official hotel partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show, the beautiful Bill Maher Beach Resort on Treasure Island. Just a quick drive from Tampa Bay for a local staycation, but they've got 90% of their rooms overlooking the Gulf of Mexico, and it's 2 pools on site, Sloppy Joe's Beach Bar and Restaurant. Excellent food, breakfast, lunch, and dinner served as well, right from the resort. And reach out to Clyde Smith and his team. They do a great job. They're adhering to COVID-19 protocols as well, and a great opportunity to have a local staycation, or if you're from out of state, of course, a vacation right here in Tampa Bay. Book directly. Don't book on one of the search engines online. Book directly. Give Clyde Smith, he's the general manager, give him a call. Let him know the real estate quarterback sent you, so you can take him up on special offers and incentives just by mentioning that you're a fan of the Consumer Quarterback Show. Bill Maher Beach Resort, longtime friend of the Consumer Quarterback Show. All right, more with Shane Socash here, David Reynolds Jewelry and Coin. And Shane, you got a great location there in between the beach and downtown, right on Central Avenue. Talk about your team and what people can expect if they come and visit you.
Well, so we've got about 12 employees here, and we've got 3 of us are graduate gemologists, which is the highest credentials you can get in our industry. We have a couple registered master valuers. Again, for as far as appraising jewelry goes, that's the highest accreditation you can get. We have master jewelers. We have 2 numismatists that would be coin experts. We're kind of a humble little place, but we've kind of stacked our deck with the best of the best in our industry.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. It sounds like you've got a great team. So when it comes to appraising jewelry, that's one of the biggest challenges we find in real estate is when you're trying to come up with a value for a property. There's different approaches: the comparative approach, the resale approach. When you're comparing properties, you can kind of look at that. Sometimes you look at what if I had to reconstruct this property, and then you also look at the income approach, like what type of income's coming in from this asset. There's different types of methodologies or theories, so to speak. But when it comes to appraising jewelry, does that exist as well in that, or is it more of comparing it to what was a recent sale or comparable?
So it's very much the same. The principles are the same. We deal with fair market value a lot with our local estate attorneys. Willing seller, willing buyer, neither under duress to buy or sell, and that's essentially what the liquidation price is, so to speak, of items. There's retail replacement is the other thing that we deal with the most, and how do you get to it? In most cases, it's what would this item retail for new and in a like market. It's same types of methodology. To be honest with you, I'm a little I have two people that do that for me. I'm a little rusty and I haven't done it in years.
Yep.
Same type of principles.
Yeah, that's cool. That makes sense. And John had an idea too about when you're looking at gold and silver. Traditionally, people think those are the great investments. Are there any other like up and coming metals or precious metals? I know we talked about maybe platinum being something like that. Are there any other off radar type investments?
Yeah, so I believe platinum's undervalued. It's tough to prognosticate, what the future holds. But like historically, platinum has been a metal that's always typically been worth more than gold, and right now it's half or a little more than half of what gold is worth. It's a material that all the precious metals can do things other things can't do. That's why they're used in industry. Platinum, I think, does even more than the other the other precious metals. I really do think that it's poised to once again be higher than gold.
Yeah, and that's to me, it's just a safer bet. I mean, you look at Bitcoin and the crypto craze that was going on. I mean, it just took a 40% drop, and then it got into, I believe, cryptocurrency, Bitcoin. It got a little political too with, when Elon Musk is sending out a tweet about his company Tesla buying such a large part of, or investing, I think it was $1.5 billion into it, and then he came back like 6 or 8 weeks later, and he kind of made, I forgot the exact quote, but he made a softer approach or some kind of a softer, because it's Bitcoin is going to affect the environment because they're able to mine this, and it takes a lot of energy. So somehow, somebody got into his ear about the environment. But I think that's the differences there too between a Bitcoin, which is a non-tangible, versus some of these investments we've been talking about are tangible assets.
Absolutely. Gold and silver have never been worth zero. They will always, and platinum for that matter, they will always have, they will always be an asset to industry. We don't know what they're going to be used for tomorrow. Tomorrow's use is yet to be discovered, and it's just they're not creating more of it. We can mine more of it, but it's what's here is here essentially.
Yeah, non-renewable. There's no more being made. All right. Final thought, Shane, and what's the best contact for you? Best website?
So it's David Reynolds, jewelryandcoin.com, and we're here on the corner of 40th Street and Central Avenue. We've been we've been on Central Avenue since 1971.
Nice. All right. Good stuff, man. We appreciate you calling in, my friend.
All right. It's always fun.
Thanks, Shane. Take care. All right, we're going to take a quick break here, come back with Owen LaFave. He's the Pinellas County Market President for the Bank of Tampa. We're going to talk about commercial real estate and what he sees coming up in the future here for Tampa Bay, as well as what's happening in that market. And plus our feel-good story of the day, a woman pays for a stranger's birthday cake at a grocery store in honor of late son's birthday. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Thanks for listening to My Daddy's Show. For more information, go to consumerqb.com.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com.
This is Diane Vance with Fairway Independent Mortgage, a member of the Consumer Quarterback Show. Please give me a call for any of your mortgage needs. We do all sorts of loans. If you would like information on a mortgage, you can text me or call me at 727-647-8199. I will take care of all your mortgage needs. Go to my website at dianevance.com.
Ian Beckles here with my man Brandon Rhymes, a.k.a. the real estate quarterback. Brandon, what's happening with the market?
Thanks, Ian. We are in a low inventory market, so any of our listeners are homeowners and would like a free comparable market analysis or a 2.5% listing, we will honor this for the first 3 listeners who call or text in 813-773-1253. Free CMA and a 2.5% real estate listing at 813-773-1253. Check out consumerqb.com. Selling commercial or residential property? Don't leave money on the table. List with the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. I'm Brandon Rhymes. Reach me at 813-670-7372 or platinummvpteam.com.
You're listening to the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
All right, welcome back. Brandon Rhymes here. Every day we tell you something good in our feel-good story of the day. We got a good one.
Tell me something good.
All right, so an Indiana woman went to pick up her son's birthday cake at a local Kroger, only to learn that the cake had been paid for by a stranger. When Carolyn Mick arrived at the Kroger, she was told that the cake had already been paid for by an anonymous woman who left a note. The note read, quote, "Today is my son's 35th birthday, and it is his 5th in heaven. I wanted to honor and remember him by paying it forward. You may make tons of precious memories. Tons of precious memories to remember for a lifetime. God bless you and yours, quote, Tyler's mom," or end quote. And she posted on the Facebook group, and she also replied with her own quote back. It says, "Dear Tony, you know who you are, and I want to express how moved I am. This means so much to my husband and I. Cried together with the turmoil of things going on, reminds us of what really matters in life," she wrote. And the heartwarming post received overwhelming reaction in the Facebook group and lots of shares. So there's our feel-good story of the day. Every day we like to tell you something positive here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. All right, so let's go to Owen LaFave, our special guest for today, Bank of Tampa, Pinellas County Market President. Welcome in.
Brandon, I appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, man. So what do you see happening coming up? I mean, it's a lot of people have their different thoughts, and I kind of alluded to it earlier with my thoughts on the residential market, but commercial is really, wow, it's you've got all these different factors. Of course, you've got the Goliath Amazons and these online retailers. What are you seeing, in the Tampa Bay market for commercial?
So if I could take a liberty a little bit, because I did bring my crystal ball, but I want to kind of flip the script a little bit.
Let's do it.
To Larry's comments about not liking and not wanting to deal with banks, and so I want to share a story about banking.
Cool.
And I think when most people, or I guess most bankers, don't grow up and aspire to be a local banker. They want to be a Wall Street banker, but they don't see themselves in the community, especially working for a community bank. And
right.
Most of ourselves find themselves in the industry and kind of fall into it. And I was certainly in that case. But I always thought it was kind of an honorable profession. And then, of course, the Great Recession hits. And a lot of people don't like bankers all of a sudden. And I'm hoping we've redeemed ourselves with PPP, and I want to touch on that for a minute. But
yeah.
I attended a conference, and Frank Luntz was the keynote speaker. And if people aren't familiar with Frank, he's a political commentator, pundit. He's been on Fox News and CBS. But the story was mostly about just generational differences and how millennials and baby boomers look at the world and the political environment. But one of the things he was talking about and showed in 2 different slides were their most favorable jobs ranked by millennials. So 1 through 10, a lot of doctors and things that you wouldn't be surprised about. YouTuber, yeah. I do think that was on the list. Podcaster,
yeah.
You flip to the second one, and it was the lowest. And so you kind of expect to see attorneys on the list, maybe used car salesmen, and that was true.
Okay.
So at the 3 bottom ones were attorneys, used car salesmen, and bankers.
Oh, man.
I know it. But, kind of going back to PPP. So if folks aren't familiar with that, as part of the CARES Act, the Payment Protection Program was part of that stimulus package that helped provide funds to businesses so they could stay open and pay their employees. And it's a great moment of pride for the Bank of Tampa, because we are Tampa's oldest and largest community bank, but we're truly a community bank dealing and competing against the Goliaths of the industry.
Yeah.
We did the 3rd most PPP loans of all banks within the Tampa Bay community. So
wow. And why are community banks important, Owen?
Community banks are important because we're truly invested in the local economy. Our decision makers are here. All of our employees are here. I mean, we live and work within the community. We sponsor events here. And then just the fact by our size, we are just more responsive to small business owners and individual needs of consumers that consumer quarterback, right? They come in, and we have, because of our scale and our size, I mean, people are dealing with people that can make, bankers that can make decisions and help them with their businesses versus, having to, deal with someone local, and that person actually is reporting or has to get an answer from someone in, Raleigh or New York or some other part of the country.
Right. Yeah. And I think in short, that translates to you care about the community. I mean, you're invested in this local community, so it matters to you. It matters to the stakeholders, and that's a big point because a lot of times a lot of these mortgages, they're backed up and packed up into mortgage-backed securities, sold off, and a lot of them, I guess, got sold to China. Is what's kind of weird about
it's hard to trace the ownership sometimes.
Yeah, exactly.
As long as they're paying, nobody cares. But,
right.
And kind of that's the other point. I mean, when things do get tough, I mean, you know who to reach. So, we're willing to sit down and have a conversation with our clients, both on the front end to figure out, okay, what do you truly need and what are you trying to accomplish?
Right.
And then if you do have issues, I mean, you're dealing with the people who originated your loan or dealing with your accounts that can work through it with you and help you find a solution.
Yeah. So on the commercial side, kind of going back to my original thought there, a lot of people are saying, okay, wow, you got the Zoom class, you got the muscular class. These are people out there that are contractors, they're working with their hands, the plumbers, the electrical, electrician, and then you got the Zoom class, the folks that they get to sit in their home and talk over a computer and earn an income, so that's going to potentially affect office space and that type, and then again back to the online retailers and how does that play out. And it's interesting too when I go over to the International Mall, whenever I have to go get my iPhone worked on or whatever, I try to stay out of malls in general, but it's just amazing, that you look in those stores and there's specialty stores that are selling, very high-end perfume or purses, and it's like, wow, how do these places pay the rent and stay in business at the same time? So what are your thoughts on, these different classes of commercial, what's deemed commercial assets?
Well, I think, there's a lot of societal just transition that COVID helped accelerate. And so, one of the things that was very evident is it's really 10 to 15% of the economy that's struggling. It's those that were in the service industry and restaurants and bars and hospitality and large venues. And that's the segment of the economy that's going to take longer to come back. And a lot of those folks are still unemployed, and some of those, electing to take, the unemployment benefits that the governor just announced are running out, or we're no longer continuing after June 27th. But I think if you want to break down retail, it's kind of that tale of two worlds. So high-end retail, I think, will continue to do well. Well-located retail, there's always going to be a need for it. I think before COVID, so BC, before COVID, the industry had too much retail anyway. Mm-hmm. So I think you're going to see a lot of that, the smaller shop space, the space is not as well located. It'll be sold or repositioned for some other type of use. Mm-hmm. Office is another big question mark. So nobody really knows what the office demand is going to look like. You've got giant companies like Target that just announced in Minneapolis that they're vacating 1 million square feet. Salesforce in California and Wells Fargo, JP Morgan Chase is also downsizing locally. Kforce, which is a recruiting agency here locally, has 130,000 square feet, and Ybor is vacating their space.
Wow.
There's a ton of sublease space that's available on the market. I think what we're seeing just in fundamentals is rents are holding up, but landlords are signing shorter-term leases if they come up for maturity. As well as giving away concessions, so a period of free time. So that stated rent, it looks like the market is holding up. But really, if you look at the effective rent with all the discounts, rental rates are actually coming down.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. If you just joined us, we're talking with Owen LaFave here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. He's the Pinellas County Market President, the Bank of Tampa. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And wow, that's some interesting. So Target vacating space, Kforce here locally. I mean, these are big. Square footage wise, I mean, those are big numbers. How do you see that playing out? I mean, especially with Target, vacating space. That was out of state, I think you mentioned.
It was Minneapolis.
So
that's not going to affect us locally, but I think it's a reflective of the kind of broader trends within the market that a lot of companies are going to try, at least partially, to do some sort of hybrid model.
Right.
So if you're taking additional demand off the market, I mean, even if it's 10% of the space, that's going to have a significant impact on rents. And I think more so, I mean, what we're seeing is kind of that that Class A space, the very dense space downtown.
Yeah.
What we're seeing is kind of like in the suburbs with the BC, the small offices. People still feel comfortable coming to work. Most of that space is held up in terms of vacancy really well.
Right.
But I do think, even at the bank, I mean, we're planning to send a portion of our workforce home that is not, customer facing, just the backroom support.
Right.
Into a hybrid model. So, our demand that, we would typically have for space, which is one of the most expensive things as a business in terms of your overhead is it's people and space.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a great cost savings. But I mean, if you're a commercial real estate owner, specifically in the office space, I think you're going to have some challenges.
Yeah, exactly. And for example, I think of two small, when I sell commercial, I sell different types of commercial, but I had two on Hillsborough Avenue, oddly enough. One was towards the west side, one was on the east side there, and they were both freestanding office spaces. I was able to sell them in a relatively fast manner, and all these question marks around commercial. But what I think draws people to these types of freestanding buildings is, hey, I'm a small contractor. I've got my vans and whatnot. So one was actually a chained in or a fenced in place, so he could keep his vans in there overnight, have his camera security, and then he had enough space to run his office. He had a conference room, and he didn't. So as the opposite of that would be, going to downtown Tampa there, going up the elevator to the 27th floor, and having all those protocols in place and worrying about COVID more so. And then, plus a lot of people can bring their dog to work. Yeah, they can bring their dog to work when they have their own building, right? So I think there's something to be said for that type of a business model too.
Yeah, and I'll even take it a layer further, the co-working space. So in the last recession, of course, co-working space didn't exist, but we had executive office suites, and that particular asset class was just decimated. I mean, everyone decided to work from home and there's no need to have an office. We've not seen that this time. I mean, executive office space is held up, co-working space is held up relatively well. And I think that is an indication that people do want, some social interaction. But I mean, you're right. Do you want to get in a 50-story office building and have to get in an elevator with 15 other people crammed in, deal with parking downtown in a parking garage, maybe having to walk a couple blocks? Or are you more comfortable in what a lot of business corporations are talking about is this hub and spoke model, where you've got, maybe you do keep that kind of Class A office location that everybody can go to when they're talking about strategy and you're trying to build culture,
right?
But you don't need as much of that space and you don't need to meet as frequently.
Yeah.
And then in the suburbs, you got the spokes, where you've got a small little office space where people are very comfortable coming and going to as they please. But just fundamentally, it has it potentially drastically impact the office market, and we're not going to know that for a while. And part of that issue is not too many people. There have been some corporations that have walked away from their leases, but most of them are in a position because they are larger corporations. And again, kind of going back to the tales of two cities, the office kind of corporate environment has performed relatively well, even at home. You're obligated to have a lease is a legal contract. So I mean, you're tied into that thing through 3 to 5 to 10 years, and once that burns off, do those people not renew, or do they take a lot less space? And it's just going to take time. It's not like multifamily or hotels where virtually they can change overnight.
Yeah, I think some of the companies also are going to like a Monday, Wednesday, Friday office, Tuesday, Thursday work from home type scenario. So then they could maybe stagger that and have different schedules of employees doing one or the other, have less space. I think that makes a lot of sense. We got about a minute left, my friend. Give us your final thoughts and takeaways.
Well, I'll tell you, I mean, even though that we've got some challenges in the commercial real estate market, it may be some headwinds. I mean, Florida is a great place to be. I mean, some of your other guests, Larry, I know, talked about just our favorable tax environment. People, we've got great weather. I mean, we've had the benefit of being able to be open, so our economy is much better off than a lot of parts of the country. So even if we do have some challenges in any segment of the market, I mean, long term, Florida is a great place to live. For folks that are looking for a bank that is local and truly cares about your success and is invested in you and is that relationship matters. So it's not just transactional and online, but you really want to talk to a person and have that person understand you. The bank in Tampa is your bank.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Good stuff. Appreciate it. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
And, good to see you. So, great show today. Hey, another great lineup. Larry Harbolt was on the show, Real Deal Podcast. Shane Socash, David Reynolds, Jewelry and Coin, and, of course, Owen Lefebvre, who you just heard from. A great dive in the commercial and the prognostics of what might happen and how different aspects are affecting it. As we always say, we want you to please go out there and consider committing a random act of kindness. Do something kind for one another. Be a force for good in the community. And we'll see you next time right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Make sure you check out consumerqb.com.
You've been listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. Whether it's real estate, consumer, or financial advice, let Brandon call your next play. Contact Brandon Rhymes at 813-670-7372. That's 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com. And join us next time for The Consumer Quarterback Show.